ko pa rin si Kuya Pao and si Kuya Ren. I don't know if I should say.
Pinag-isipan niya pa.
Nakakarami na tong host natin.
Okay lang yan. Pero yun nga, second topic natin. This is gonna be good. Are the DPC points too top heavy? Do you think na kapag nag-qualify na ba yung teams or mathematically qualified for team, dapat ba hindi na sila sumali? Or kasi parang ang hirap na para sa mga lowest points na teams para makahabol pa doon sa pointing system natin. Kuya Pao.
I think pagdating naman sa tanong, are the DPC points too top heavy? I think my problem with the DPC points right now is that, again, this is classic Valve. Classic Valve ulit. Pinagpracticean na naman nila yung competitive scene. And this is just the move of a game developer, right? Iterating is fine, diba? It's fine in software. The problem is that this is a livelihood thing. This is a sports integrity question. Are the DPC points too top heavy? If we take a look at what's going to happen with the way that the point system is broken down. For every point that Virtus Pro wins from this point forward, it's going to lower the amount of points everyone else needs in order to enter the top 8.
Yes.
Right? It's by literally every point they win from this point forward is wasted. Diba? Magiging, something like X minus 8. So yeah, for every X points that Virtus Pro win, the points requirement for the other teams is lowered down by X over 8. So it makes that weird yung situation na mangyayari. What happens now? Newbie is going to root for VP to win every event because that means na mas konti yung kailangan nilang gamitin. Saan ka nakakita ng ganung liga? Saan ka nakakita ng ganung circuit? Yeah. Okay, sana manalo yung Golden State Warriors ngayon ng mas marami pa para naman makapasok naman kami.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mahirap siya, right? So, mathematically, it's also weird. We have 10 events left. And now, VP can choose not to play any of that. We just came off of a segment where we said VP is the best in the world. There's a chance, this is probably not going to happen, right? But there's a chance that VP, the best team in the world, will not be seen for 10 events.
No, I think they're gonna play in all majors and skip the minors altogether.
Exactly, diba? Yeah. Pero sabi ko, may chance lang, right? Because if they don't attend any event right now, they're still going to TI.
Yes.
Saan ka nakakita ng ganung sistema? Diba? Oh, I've won every event. I'm not going to go now. The best team in the world, fans will not see. It's a disservice to the integrity of the competitive system. It's a disservice to the fans who are watching. Yeah. And all of this is because the DPC points are a bit too top heavy. I don't think there was... I'm sure some calculations were put into place thinking, okay, how many points are we going to give out per event, per tournament, ganito, ganyan. But I think it ended up giving out too much. Diba? I think it's too much because if a team wins, in VP's case, they won yun nga, tatlong major, a minor, and placed high in all of the other 8. Diba? In the remaining 4. And that already qualified them for TI. 8 out of 22. 8 out of 22. We were supposed to have 22, diba? 11 majors and 11 minors. 8 out of 22 pasok na ng TI.
Kaya nga.
That's so, it's kind of weird. I think the DPC points are too top heavy right now. And it's creating a really strange situation across the circuit.
Yeah. To the point that the other teams wouldn't care about the top place anymore. Or kung sino man yung nakasecure na yun. Kasi as long as you secured enough points to make it to top 8, automatic invited ka na, di ba? What do you think about that, Kuya Ren? You think na masyadong... Okay. Ren?
Yes,
do you think...
Yeah.
Do you think...
Yes, you were saying?
Okay. Do you think na too top heavy yung pointing system natin with DPC? Do you think, or they should come up with a different system? Or do you think na di nila naisip na may isang team na magdo-dominate palagi on every tournament? Kaya ganito yung pointing system na ginawa nila.
You know, it is top heavy, but I think it is intended to be that way. But you have to remember in trial and method, you have to remember that Dota 2 is in beta.
It's in beta, yeah,
so,
I know.
So
it's 2017, it's 2018.
We're still trying things out now. But the thing is, you know, the more I think about the format, the more it grows on me. Let's say it's NBA. I think Toronto clinched a playoff spot with 50 wins. That's around, I think, 80% of the season is finished or something. Right now we're at 47% of the points given, and VP has secured the slot already. That's why it's a topic na sobrang taas ng points ng VP ngayon individually na let's say theoretically if any player from VP outside Roger decided to form a team, kunyari pwede pa with the invites, let's say solo form a team with me, Pao, Ish, and Kuya Nick. We're gonna be top 4 in DPC with
That's how
just
bad it is.
with just the
Mhm.
points of solo. But the thing is, I think with it being top heavy, it really encourages the players and the teams to perform. Because you can see here na yung rankings natin that the most of the players have almost 2,400 points. Solo is a bit lower kasi absent siya ng isang minor noong December. But then, if you see the thing, with 2,200 ni Solo, that's enough to overtake Newbie already. But then, you see the top 8 teams. Here, the only team na nanalo ng major or minor na wala sa top 8 is OG. And I think it reflects naman. When you see OG play, when you see how they perform throughout the tournaments, it's fair na wala sila sa top 8. The thing is, these top 8 teams right now, if the current season is the basis, they are the best teams. And kung ngayon ng TI, I think I have to agree that these are the ones that we should invite, more or less. The thing is, also another issue that we have to take note is this format really helps or promotes the team to have a deep run in the events. Kasi walang points maliban sa top 4. I think for the major and minor, it's for more teams, it's another topic altogether. And if there's something na really worth arguing, it's ESL Genting na minor having 16 teams super strong tapos 300 points lang katumbas. But other than that, I think it's very fair. Tapos again, I think I'm confident to say na when all this is done, the top 8 teams in the DPC points, kahit sabihin mo top heavy, it's still the worthy teams to go to TI.
I mean, ako naniniwala naman ako na these are worthy teams, 'di ba? Siguro pag tinignan mo yung top 8, you can't really argue na there's a team here that shouldn't be here. Siguro you could make an argument for the last few slots, 7 and 8 siguro, that other teams might be able to overtake them, and that's going to be diyan talaga tayo magkakatalo, especially as the circuit goes on. Pero I think once you say, and doon ako magdi-disagree with you, pag sinabi mo kasing it's fine right now dahil yung mga teams na nandyan sa taas deserve to be there. That's results-based thinking. That's results-based thinking na yan eh. Kasi, syempre, okay, parang sinabi mong hindi siya mali dahil tama yung naging kinalabasan.
Oh.
Eh, nagkataon yun eh. Diba? Nagkataon yun eh.
It's nagkataon because that's how they perform throughout.
Well, yes, pero if you take a look at it, diba?
Yes.
If the TPC points were not too top-heavy, right? Sabihin natin the DPC points were scaled down. Mas mababa yung payout ng ibang ano. I agree with scaling it as the event nears TI. Right?
Yeah, I agree as well.
Pero even that has a problem. Because, let's take a look at it. If the DPC points weren't masyadong malaking magbigay in some events, right? Then it would be a more bitterly contested top 8. Because you need to make a deep run. Tama yan, I agree. You need to make a deep run to get points. Especially if the points were scarce. If konti yung points, tapos you need a deep run to get it, these teams will be fighting tooth and nail against each other palagi. And that's a more competitive system for me. Right? And that could still impact na yung top 8 natin ngayon would still be there. Right? So I think pero in that situation, what that also does is hindi during Marso meron na tayong team for TI. Kailan tayo nakarinig ng ganun in the history of the international? Na March pa lang, itong team na to pupunta na ng TI. We would have an idea that this team is such a dominating team. I think in the past, I mean, not even peak Alliance was that na parang Marso pa lang, Alliance is going to TI. Hindi eh. Diba? Ngayon lang nangyari sa history natin ng laro na Marso pa lang, alam natin may pupunta na ng TI.
The difference before though is this is the first time as well na meron tayong concrete system.
And I agree.
That's why before, usually after Chinese New Year, doon natin yung mga nagka-start sila sa kanilang TI form. But prior to that, nandun yung mga roster change, nandun yung mga shuffles. So, before then, that's also another reason why hindi nagpe-perform as good yung mga teams ng maaga. Kasi nga, wala pa silang really, there's not really a lot of incentive to do so kumpara sa ngayon.
And that's what I'm saying though.
Yes.
Ngayon may incentive tayo.
Yes.
And I agree. Again, I think both of us will agree that having a point system is overall good. Because now there's an actual metric. Before, magugulat na lang tayo na ba't in-invite tong team na to? Diba? I think what happened with Team Malaysia, invited as the SEA representative before, raised some question with people. Diba? Bakit sila yung in-invite when I think Rave was the other contender for SEA at the time? Wala tayong points sa pagbabasihan eh. So it's good. Ang sa akin lang, again, if the points being given out weren't as much, we would still have teams competing hanggang ngayon. And right now, again, kudos to VP if they're going to go to all of the majors pa rin. Kudos to VP if hindi sila magkakalat. Right? But the system kind of incentivizes them to do that. They're free. They're fine now. Di ba? Pwede silang magkalat ng gusto nila. They're still going to TI. So, yun yung ayoko sa sistema to. Again, I think it's results-based thinking to say na just because nandito ang VP, nandito ang Liquid, nandito ang Secret, Newbie, VG, 2 VGs, and Navi and Mineski, just because they're there, na it's working. I don't think so. I think we could do better.
You could do better, but it's not a matter of, again, this is their trial run. Tayo yung trial run nila.
Yun yung sinasabi ko eh. I'm tired of trial runs from Valve. I'm tired of trial runs, Valve. I mean, Artifacts coming out, I'm sure that's also going to be another trial run.
It's gonna be a trial run for sure.
Diba? It's
$1 million trial
$1 million trial run. And kudos to you, ang dami nyong pera, diba? Pero I care about competitive integrity. That's what I care about. I care about what the viewers are seeing. I would hate for it. And again, I know VP is not going to do this, but I hate it when a system incentivizes a team na magkalat or not try as hard. Sabi mo kanina, tama. Roster changes used to happen before, right? They would lock after Chinese New Year.
Most likely, yeah, usually.
Most likely. Isipin mo na lang ngayon, if we kept a system, or maybe we could do this next year, who knows? If they kept a system na mas konti yung points, and they had another roster period later on, siguro sometime around May, like they used to do before, right? Then the points and the manipulation of points actually makes more sense. The reason why they give out more points at the end of the year is so that if meron kayong bagong team or ngayon lang kayo nagsusearch, pwede pa kayong makahabol sa top 8. Pero ngayon parang dahil lock naman na rin yung rosters, no one's going to change rosters right now.
Yeah, but hindsight is 2020 though.
That's true.
We have to, baka, I know, we can speculate na baka diyan na foresee na there's the team that's going to dominate this season because that's unprecedented more or less before in this manner. At the same time, this is a system kasi that is being used in CSGO, this major minor system. At doon, teams actually choose tournaments where they go to. I think baka din na inasahan that teams would actually try to join every single tournament, which caused a problem for them and for the teams then in the qualifiers na schedules are overlapping. When CSGO solved that, then namili sa ng tournament sila. I'm not gonna join this. I'm gonna try on this one. Of course, there's gonna be tournaments na stronger. There's gonna be tournaments na weaker. Like kung the GSC Indonesia right now. I don't want to knock on the teams, but
it's true. It's a weaker field.
It's a weaker field compared to others, and I think it's the purpose of this system ngayon. It's taking effect there. Maybe for you it's for worse, but for me I think it actually helps the other teams to see who can climb there.
Again, I think the teams who are here are great, diba? Ang sa akin lang, I just wish we had a better system. Ayokong tanggapin eh. Again, yes, hindsight is 2020. We're seeing it's not working. I wish that we had a better idea of it not working, given that we are dealing with a company that's had so much success and has a lot of access with these teams. A simple consultation with these teams, or not even a consultation, an actual focus group. Because I'm sure that Valve...
I'm sure they do though.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both know when Valve communicates, it's on Valve's terms.
Yeah.
Diba? So I'm
but the
sure...
thing is, they have been changing the format of, let's say, TI every single year.
Yeah, but it's always in retrospect. Yun lang yung sinasabi ko. Ako para sa akin, yes, if the question is, pwede ba natin tanggapin ngayon? It's fine, yes. Next year, magiging better siya. I have no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
Diba? Pero right now, totoo eh. The DPC points are too top heavy right now.
Yeah.
So definitely, kung meron mang kailangan i-change next year, lower the points. And other
Maybe not lower, maybe scale it. Kasi
scale it.
The minors is very bad right now.
300 points.
Newbie was, KP was really pissed about winning ESL Genting. It was a super tough field, 16 teams for that amount of points na nakuha nila.
They took Liquid to a best of 5 set. And then yun na pala nila, 300 points. Good luck. Diba? They didn't even move.
So what are you suggesting? That kailangan na lang na, babaan na lang yung points? Or, but then again, if you think about it, hindi ba mapapagod masyado yung teams kung masyadong mababa yung points? They have to join every single tournament. Kasi kailangan nilang maghabol dun sa pointing system natin.
I mean, if it were me, again, this is for next year, obviously. We can no longer solve this now. Diba? Or at least this is what we have right now. Teams are just taking advantage of the system right now. And that's fine. That's fine. That's what you do in a competition. You play by the rules. You take advantage of the rules, and then you make it work for you.
Yeah.
That's fine right now. If I were to change it, I would lower or scale the points. Tulad na sabi ni Ren, I completely agree with that. I would lower the points a little bit more, scale it down, scale it appropriately, make sure that the majors feel actually like majors, minors feel like minors.
Okay.
Right? I would do it that way. I would add other roster situations. For example, I don't think locking your rosters in January for a tournament in August is so good, right? I would incentivize teams to be able to pick which events. Kasi tama ka, yes, burnout. Pero that's something that the teams can manage, can mitigate. Again, CSGO is able to do it. And CSGO, I think, has a little bit of an edge when it comes to tournament formats compared to us. Of course, that's also medyo ano yun eh. That's also that's also an effect of just how their game is compared to ours. Pero that's where I would start.
Okay. So narinig na natin yung parang opinion nila about sa ating DPC or para sa ating pointing system. So medyo mahirap nga naman, like what you guys say, na kung yung Virtus Pro securing a spot already na hindi na natin sila makikita, magpapahinga na yun kasi
do you think they're not going to do you think they're going to try still, or?
Well, for the next 2 minors, they're not participating in it, and for the next major, they're already invited. So after that, yung tatlo na yun, meron pang 4 na majors, and there's not a lot of details regarding that.
But it doesn't bother you na baka they don't try?
Not really.
I mean, they kind of deserve it. Alright,
it's not
but
like have
anyway.
a guy na may history ng throwing.
Sabagay. It's not like they have a guy has a
It's not
history
like
of
they have a
throwing. Tama.
Anyways, so there you guys have it para sa ating second topic. We will have more, ayan, after ng short break natin. So once again, I am Ish. You guys are watching the Duel. We will be right back after a short break.
Hello everyone, I'm Jazz.
And I'm Rain.
Siguro by now narinig niyo yung term na position sa larong Dota 2.
Pero ano nga ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 na position sa Dota?
Today on Competitive 101, we'll be doing some quick maths starting with position 1, the hard carry.
Before we continue, a short history on the position system in Dota. Originally a Chinese system, the 1 to 5 number positions are a general model of how a Dota team is structured.
The structure itself is pretty simple. Starting from 1, the lower the number, the higher the priority the player gets in terms of gold and experience. 1 then would mean that the player receives the most experience and gold for items, and 5 the least.
Positions in Dota don't always equal the lane assignments. Kahit na madalas ilagay sa isang lane ng isang position, pwede pa rin tong mag-iba depende sa match-up.
A hero in the 1 position means that they have the highest priority for levels and gold on your team. This is your hard carry, the hero most expected to close out and win the game. Heroes that scale well into the late game are naturally choices for position 1.
These heroes usually deal a ton of damage later in the game, but need some time to reach a critical point.
Sa laro, expected na mag-focus ang isang position 1 sa pagkuha ng gold through last hitting or farming efficiently. Meanwhile, ang trabaho ng supports na tulungan siyang mag-succeed either through stacking neutral creep camps or sa pag-box out ng kalaban nilang mga hero para safe makapag-last hit.
Dahil kailangan ng position 1 ng maraming gold at experience, madalas yung buong team dito nakafocus yung buong game plan nila. At dahil doon, sila rin ang main target patayin ng enemy team. Palagi silang hinahanap sa mga rotations at ganks at kahit nasa teamfight.
Basically, yung kalaban nyo ay si Lex Luthor at gusto nilang patayin si Superman.
Agility heroes make up the majority of the role. These heroes have more attack speed the later the game goes, allowing them to attack faster and deal more damage.
Classic examples for Position 1 include Anti-Mage, Terrorblade, Medusa, and Sven. Other heroes like Tinker can also be considered Position 1 of the team because the hero basically needs a lot of resources early to rush a Boots of Travel and then naturally farm multiple lanes at once.
The Position 1, ang late game taking time bomb.
Kaya mo bang buhatin ng team mo at manalo?
For more tips and tricks, abangan sa Wombo X Combo ang Competitive 101.
Ready 24/7. Hello everyone, I'm Jazz.
And hello, I'm Rain.
Midder feed, 1v1 mid, ako mid, mga common phrases na nakikita natin sa araw-araw na pops.
Ito rin yung isa sa mga pinaka-explosive na positions na nilalaro sa professional scene.
And today, on Competitive 101, we'll be following the gank with Position 2, the semi-carry.
Before we continue, a short history on the position system in Dota. Originally a Chinese system, the 1 to 5 number system is a general model of how a Dota team is structured.
The structure itself is pretty simple. Starting from 1, the lower the number, the higher the priority the player gets in terms of gold and experience. 1 then would mean that the player receives the most experience and gold for items, and 5 the least.
Positions in Dota don't always equal the lane assignments. Kahit na madalas ilagay sa isang lane ang isang position, pwede pa rin to mag-iba depende sa matchup. For Position 2, most of the time nasa mid lane sila, pero there are times that the Position 2 swaps lanes with the Position 1 or the hard carry.
A hero in the 2 position means that they have the second highest priority for levels and goals on your team. A hero in the 2 position means that they have the second highest priority for levels and gold on your team. This is the hero that you want to hit a specific... Go ahead.
Welcome back para sa ating another segment naman ng The Duel. So, eto na, papasok na tayo para sa ating third topic. Pero bago ko muna i-disclose yun or bago ko sabihin yun, quick shoutout nga pala sa lahat ng Twitch chat natin, sa lahat ng nanonood. Alam ko kayo, nai-intrigue din kayo about sa pointing system, about VP, and about
I
other
think na-intriga sila kung sino yung sumigo sa'yo sa may sugat kayo.
Yeah. So, yung band-aid ko is dahil sa basketball kanina, medyo madugo po yung bakbakan namin kanina. It's actually a bloodbath dun sa basketball court kanina.
Sa laging handa? Sa laging handa sa inyo.
Nasulo pa nga yung kamay ko dun or I sprained my finger. But anyways, I'm used to it. Pero quick shoutout nga pala kay Boss Strike and kay Boss Banus for giving us a host para dito sa ating WXC Plus. Yo.
Ay, yan, thank you.
Quick shoutout. So, eto na, ating third topic. Was the draft a problem for both TNC and Mineski? Ayan, Ren, what do you think about it? So, like nakikita natin, they were doing well sa ating open qualifier sa Southeast Asia, pero when they get to LAN, parang hindi ito yung mga napapanood ko sa Southeast Asia. Do you think na it's because of the drafting kaya nahihirapan sila going into the big leagues?
You know, the draft is a problem or was a problem sa event, but I won't call the draft the problem.
It's the problem.
It's not the problem.
So marami pa sila problema. Who are you actually talking about?
I think the draft is too simplistic to really blame it on the draft. And for Mineski, mahirap sisihin ang draft sa event nila. They played for me, they played very poorly in this event. They had relatively weak competition kumpara sa iba based on the stats that we showed last week kunyari. And I think one of the problem ngayon ng mga players natin or teams is, again, we're gonna go back to our topic a few weeks back or some episodes back na kulang tayo ng magaling na captain who really lead the team. This is with consideration sa patches natin which is happening now every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And it is getting harder or mahirap na mag-stay ka lang sa isang strategy mo all throughout. If you look at the top heroes natin ng event, you can see that these heroes are the nagagamit, diba, recently. This Gario 100% pick and ban rate. And these are the top 15 actually. And if you compare that with the heroes kunyari ng TNC, the TNC throughout the event pick, I think, around 22 heroes.
Yeah, 22 heroes.
Around 22 heroes throughout the event. And you can see here, yung makita mo maliban sa kanilang top pick na si Witch Doctor and si Gyrocopter. Other than that, all their heroes are, you cannot see them in the top heroes sa meta na to, or sa at least sa event na to. You compare that to VP, you'll see ngayon yung difference how VP likes to pick naman yung mga heroes which are in the meta. When you see actually, pag kinumpare mo yung data nila, you'll see here na, again, yung mga ginagamit nilang heroes, these are the ones na nasa meta ngayon. It's not because they're dictating the meta, but because they know how to read the meta. If you go to the past 3 months natin, since February, I think I pulled out a stat na hindi ko nabigay. This is the heroes used by the teams in the past 3 months. So, sorry, since February. This is the patch 6.08. So, Liquid is the highest. Naka 60 heroes siya then. Newbie has 57. Mineski has 54. TNC has 53. VP has 47. VG has 46 and Navi as well. Secret has 45 and VG Thunder has 43. You'd see na it's not necessarily kailangan marami kang ginagamit na heroes. I think a focus should be finding the hero which is strong for the current
So what are you
version.
saying? So what you're saying is, and does this apply to both TNC and Mineski na kailangan they play less heroes?
Yeah, for this event specifically, for Mineski, it's hard to say that. They played 4 games. They played 16 heroes in 4 games, which is a lot of variety, and to be honest. But again, it's a very small sample size. But then going back, kasi I think it's one of the common criticisms sa mga Filipino teams which may not be, or Southeast Asian teams, which may not or may not be affecting them. Ang palagi sinasabi sa atin, ang liit ng hero pool nyo, kailangan siyang i-expand. But then you see teams like VP, they have a big hero pool, but they know what to pick and when to pick it. It's not necessarily, having a curveball every game na meron kang different hero, but it's just finding the strong hero for this patch which can be utilized best, and they're utilizing it to its full potential. Right now, they're trying really, I guess, maybe except for 1 or 2 heroes. Wala. Iba-ibang heroes sila. Maybe not the best for this patch, maybe it works best for their style. But again, style is kind of following ngayon kung ano yung naging change natin sa patch.
I mean, I agree with that na. Yes, the problem is very deep than that. But I think it starts with the draft pa rin. I mean, you take a look at, okay, you showed the stats na ginamit ng TNC. Yes, 22 heroes in this event. Another stat is that VP has used 25 heroes in the entire event. Makita mo, not that big of a spread, right?
Not really, because VP played much more games as well.
Exactly. Tama yun. TNC ended their run in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, VP managed to even pull out the Brood, for example, in the final set. So totoo, they would have a bigger spread, 25 to 22, mababa lang. Diversity with TNC is fine. Pero take a look at the spread between their supports. The number of supports na gamit ng TNC, 10 compared to VP's 15. Lumalawak yung spread ng kaunti. Again, pagdating doon, you can say that there's still just more na nangyayari with VP because he had more games. Totoo yan. But again, I think it's symptomatic. If we take a look at, and we have a photo here, these are the most successful heroes naman on the side of TNC. You have the Puck, the Witch Doctor, the Gyrocopter, Outward Devourer, Sand King, and Disruptor. The Witch Doctor and the Disruptor are their most common na position 5s. Yes, they have the Rubik. They played the Rubik. They even played Enchantress on Kuku on one game, I believe, in the playoffs.
Yes.
Or in the playoffs or in the
group stage
as well,
Swiss.
right? In the Swiss as well. But this is symptomatic of something. I spoke to Kuku before their playoffs. Sabi ni Kuku, right now they're focusing on a playstyle. One playstyle. They want to make sure that yung playstyle nila works for them. Right? But again, that playstyle is going to be limited because of their draft. They don't have access to a Broodmother player right now. So they don't have access to that playstyle. So I think, yes, while I agree that the problem is very varied siya, marami siyang pwedeng factors, the draft is a symptomatic of a problem. And the problem right now is that we have not as deep of a playstyle pool. Not necessarily a hero pool. And it's reflecting in the draft. With Mineski, again, I will agree with Ren. Let's just call a spade a spade. They did not play well this event. They need to change up a lot of things. In fact, they have a lot of heroes. Mineski has a lot of heroes. They can't utilize it well. They played Nyx, Magnus in the group stages. Did not work. They tried to pull out the Medusa. Did not work. Diba? On TNC's end, they need another playstyle. And another playstyle is going to be helped by a deeper hero pool. Wala silang access sa They have a Timbersaw, which is great. That's siguro yung pinaka strange nila na hero pick throughout the tournament. And that was it. They used that because they needed to counter a Dragon Knight. So they have those counters. Pero nasan yung ano nila? Wala silang Nature's Prophet player. And again, nakikita mo doon on TNC's end, that's another historic siguro masasabi natin na weakness on them. They don't have a farming off lane. They don't have it. They just have that playstyle. So I think they need to diversify their playstyle if they want to diversify their draft. They need to play 4 protect 1. They don't play 4 protect 1 right now. They play 2 core split push. They play Sam H going initiating tank. Their Abaddon, they don't have an Abaddon. They can play Abaddon before, so we know Sam H can play an Abaddon, pero they're not confident in doing that. And because of that, nakikita mo sa draft. People will tell me, si Kuko yung problema, masyado maliit yung ano niya. Bakit palaging Witch Doctor lang? Kasi yung Witch Doctor may damage yung wards niya, which is the usual na maririnig mo from some people on Twitch chat or on Facebook, right? And it's funny. It's funny, pero again, he's limited. Paano siya gagamit ng iba? Paano siya gagamit ng ibang hero na gano'n? Kung yung ibang mga kasama niya, medyo hindi angkop yung playstyle nila with that draft. Mahirap eh.
So you're saying na problema ng TNC, it's not the draft, it's just about the limited pool ng heroes nila, right? So do you agree with that for TNC?
Yeah, again, it's not the draft per se, and it's a problem. It's an underlying problem based on a deeper problem, which can be the hero pool nila. Another limitation kung nga rin ngayon is I think the lack of specialty is hurting them. Kunyari, like, if you see the top picks, it's usually the position 5 and position 1 in this event. But for VP, you have to ban Chen in the first phase. Because if you don't, Roger is going to defeat you very quickly. So I think that this kind of heroes or specialty really gives other teams an edge. And yung specialty na to, it's with just one strategy, it's very limited lang for you.
I think so. I mean, nakita natin with Liquid, they made that happen, right? They have a specialized player in GH. And GH warped an entire metagame around him. They they brought back yung ginawa ni AOI in TI5, where they have a very, very greedy 4, a really, really high impact 4, and that just completely dictated the rest of the metagame for the rest of the tournament. TNC doesn't have that. And again, I'm not knocking TNC. I actually agree sa ginawa nila ngayong tournament na to. I think they needed to stick to one playstyle this tournament because they have a new lineup. Armel moving into the mid lane, picking up Armel, isn't just Armel in the mid lane. It's Kuku in the position 5. So they're still feeling it out. But I think now that they know, okay, concept-wise, gumagana yung concept natin. They did really well in the group stage. They destroyed Vici Gaming J Thunder in the first game. Now they need to find another strategy. If they can't find another strategy, it's going to be very hard to continue throughout the season, especially because we have new patches every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So you're saying na mas madali siyang i-beat ng mga team kasi isa lang yung playstyle nila, isa lang yung lagi nilang ginagawa. Kaya they didn't
I mean, I think that's what Vici Gaming J Thunder exactly did to them. In game 2, they had a similar draft. Vici Gaming J Thunder saw, okay, similar yung draft nila. What do? How about we try lane a Tidehunter? Tinry lane nila yung Tidehunter, walang namatay sa laning stage nila. Walang namatay sa laning stage nila, TNC couldn't snowball. Game 3, nag-shift ng konti yung TNC, but by then, naisip ng Vici Gaming J Thunder, okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll pick an unkillable lane, Viper. It died nung first na gank with their Shaker. After that, hindi nila mapatay. And that was the secret, right? If you want to fight TNC right now, have unkillable lanes. If you have to try lane a Tidehunter, which is hard to kill in the beginning, to begin with, in the first place, okay, hindi tayo mamamatay, TNC can't get off the ground, they can't have a safe area for Raven, and nakita natin, in game 2 and 3, Raven was punished because he doesn't have that kill advantage sa simula pa lang.
Yeah, true.
Diba? So
how about for Mineski naman? I'm just wondering, kasi, di ba, like you said, hindi naman more on the drafting yung problema nila, it's just the playstyle. Pero they have the players for it. Si Mushi, they have the veteran, you have Ice, you have all the players you need for an all-star team sa Southeast Asia. Pero how can they, bakit nahihirapan silang mag-perform knowing na okay naman yung draft nila and they couldn't just get a result from having a lot of good players?
No, for Southeast Asia, I think they are playing well pa rin naman if that's the level they want to be. But if we're talking about the global stage, they're falling short. Actually, not just in this tournament. If you've been following them, they've been falling off past few tournaments actually with the Secret. They're one of the few teams na on top of the rankings sa umpisa, but now they're falling now. They're barely hanging on against the top 8.
Wasn't like weren't they at highest third place or something? Or?
I think they were probably second or first.
You think yung meta naka-hurt sa kanila after yung previous patch natin?
I think it's one, and this is purely speculative, but what do you think is the effect of Jabs being the captain, being the youngest one, and still siya yung captain? Do you think ano bang impact nun sa authority niya sa team, being with players, seniors sa kanya lahat, with definitely louder voices, not just audibly but yung impact as well? I think these are the things that they have to work with. Definitely, I'm sure they're doing everything that they can. I'm sure they're not slacking off.
But that's my question though. Kasi nabanggit mo kanina rin na they need a specialist. They have a specialist. Their specialist is Nana, right? As the Mirana, he's the Mirana specialist on their team. Pero it doesn't work. So I don't know, enough ba yun para maging ano sila?
Yeah, but it's kind of the flavor din ng patch. That's what I was talking about. Na it's not just supposed to be one hero, because you don't have necessarily, specialist doesn't necessarily have to be one hero. You should still have a hero pool. Na being Mirana, if it's not as good as it is like right now, then definitely they're gonna give it to them. People are giving it to them the same way that sa Liquid, people are risking giving Liquid their Earth Spirit because they know they can take it now, unlike before. That's a difference. I think Liquid played 5 Earth Spirit games this tournament, so that's still a lot considering he's usually banned or not picked even. But people are now risking that. Actually, Chen, who was, I think, the 3rd most banned in this event, when he was picked, he was actually win rate niya sa 30% lang.
Actually, that's also a question for me though. Just parang nabanggit ni Ren. Like, where's TNC's Chen pick? Right. We saw even in Galaxy battles. Right. Even in Galaxy battles, Chen was already very good, and that was 2 patches ago. No Chen player. Again, playstyle yun. Right? They don't have a Chen playstyle. They don't have a playstyle that's centered around just completely. You would think that it should work for them. Being aggressive, snowball lane, diba? You have two level 4 neutral creeps. You are going to snowball a lane, diba? But they don't have it.
Yeah. Pero this is for TNC. Si Kuku yung naglalaro ng Chen, diba?
I think
should be.
It should be.
Yeah. So, si Chen is a hero na medyo greedy siya. He needs farm, he needs level. Whereas yung position 4 nila, si teams, you think na medyo nagiging problema nila yon yung support-wise, kung sino yung mas ma-prioritize ng farm?
I mean, again, I don't want to be so hard on TNC right now because it's a big change para sa kanila.
Yeah.
It's a big change for them, changing up their mid player to now their primary shot caller in position 5. Hindi biro yun. Hindi talaga biro yun. I just wish that they would now that they know that their concept works, they have a few events off. I believe Star Ladder is off for them. GSC Indonesia is off for them as well. With that off, I hope that they take this time to include more. They went to a LAN.
Yeah.
They scrimmed other teams. They would learn more about that. Diba?
So, yung parang yung after bringing Armel to the team and putting Kuku into position 5 was more like sa mga tournament natin ngayon was a trial or like testing out the waters, testing out what works for them, what's
I think
not.
any team levels up in a LAN. Any team levels up in a LAN. If they don't level up, something is wrong with that team. That team might be disbanding or might be about to do a roster change. We saw that with Optic Gaming. We saw that with EG as well. It's that trade.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. For the side of Mineski, one thing that I gotta wonder, a lot of tao din, marami din nagsasabi, Twitch chat, viewers natin, yung underperformance ni Mushi as their core. You think that's also a big issue for Mineski?
I don't want to touch this subject. I don't know. Ren, sa tingin mo?
I think maybe you can touch it next time. I guess. I think it's one topic altogether.
Yeah, I think kulang tayo ng oras. That's the reason why I don't want to touch it because
it's not as simple as that na pangit ang laro this guy because it's not this individual game.
Okay. So, you guys heard it from both Mineski and TNC. Draft-wise, it's not as much about the drafting. It's more about testing out things. Maybe a little bit of.
I mean, a little bit of testing out things. I think testing is over.
Oh, yeah.
I think testing is over. So.
So, ayan nga. Narinig nyo na yung opinion ng ating dalawang bigatin or ating analyst.
Kanina kuya. Ngayon bigatin.
In terms of like, that's not what I meant. Pero yun nga, you guys heard their opinion, what they had to say about sa ating pointing system, about if BP is a top team, and also yung drafting wise with Mineski and of course TNC. So we'll see how it goes again next time. Marami pa tayong topic for our next series or topic or ulit sa
Next episode.
Yeah, next episode Thursday.
episode. Yan. Episode is the term I was looking for.
Kinakabahan
Ano,
si Ish.
first time ko
Kinakabahan.
kasi. Saka hindi,
Kinakabahan
pagod ako. Pero yun nga, there you guys have it. Maraming salamat sa lahat na nag-tune in. I hope it helped a lot para sa mga ating Dota 2 or esport enthusiasts about talking about this kind of stuff. Hope na mas nabigyan kayo ng information and nag-raise din ng awareness about what is happening dito sa Dota world natin.
Where can they find you?
So, if you guys wanna check out or follow etong Twitch or social media ni Kuya Pao, just hold on.
Where can they find you?
Where can they find you?
I don't do Twitch. I have a Twitch channel. I've streamed siguro once. Once and that natalo pa ata ako, calibration pa nga ata yun eh. I'm too camera shy for that. So you can just follow me on Twitter. For esports ranting or retweeting every time someone says e-sports. So that's at the Paubago, ThePaobago on Twitter.
And for Kuya Ren, Kuya Ren. And for Ren, it's a habit. What
It's a train wreck, but I love it.
Pero ayan, kay Ren, where can they find you? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter as well at Darren Vitug, but I barely tweet. You
Yeah.
can find more of me on Facebook at Darren Vitug PH, but you can see me posting.
Actually, follow nyo siya
Novel
kasi
stuff.
nag-giveaway siya ng Steam games.
Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Giveaway.
Yeah, I'm giving away copies of Dota 2 tonight.
he's yeah.
Pero ito, and if you guys wanna check out my channel on my social media, just go to para sa aking Twitch, twitch.tv/ishipeasy. And for my Facebook, just search Ishipeasy din, facebook.com Ishipeasy, Instagram, lahat, Ishipeasy lang. Ayun, Ishipeasy lang.
Alright.
So, ayun na. Maraming ulit salamat sa lahat ng dumalo. We will see you guys again. Na yan, sa
By the
lahat
way,
ng-
hindi po to pre-recorded, Beerbud. Hindi po to pre-recorded.
Hindi mo, ayun,
Not
totoo.
today.
Ayan. Magandang pa ako, ayan, oo.
Salamat na lang. Nag-peak tayo kanina 240 viewers.
Ayan, sa ating 240 viewers, yo, shoutout sa inyo lahat sa walang sawang suporta. Sa Lupon, of course, sa Lupon ng WXC for being part of this awesome community. Maraming salamat. We will see you guys again next time para sa next series or next episode ng The Duel. Ayan, WXC+. See you guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Jazz.
And I'm Rain.
Siguro by now narinig niyo na yung term na position sa larong Dota 2.
Pero ano nga ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 na position sa Dota?
Today on Competitive 101, we'll be doing some quick maths starting with position 1.